In this video, I'm going to cover the whole entire market in terms of Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500, 10-year Treasury, economic calendar. Now for economic calendar for June 10, 2024, there's nothing on the calendar. And more importantly, we have to focus on Wednesday and Thursday, the inflation numbers for CPI and PPI. That is important because if the numbers are better than expected in terms of inflation coming lower, then the market could be optimistic that the Fed will cut interest rates, so we'll be on the lookout for that. I do post these videos daily, so consider following me on X and YouTube so you can be notified when I do upload them. And I highly encourage you to check out the latest videos so that way the information is not out of date. I am not a professional, so please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. Now, before I get into the breakdown, I'm just going to cover the 10-year Treasury. We're at 4.434%, 4.434%, and a slight uptick you can see as of recent. And now in terms of breakdown, so we have this upward trend resistance line dating back since 2021 and upward trend support level basically started off as of April 2024. And then just in case you're a new viewer, just to show you, this is 2021 right about here, upward trend resistance line, upward trend support level. When I zoomed in previously, when I showed you the previous screen, that was right about here, the 3-month chart. Now the 5-year chart for the Dow Jones, this is the Dow Jones, we're sitting at 38,799 points. In terms of the 5-year chart, it is showing further downside, but if you look at the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, in terms of 1-year and 5-year, excluding the 5-year for the Dow Jones, so the 1-year kind of coincides with the rest of them as well, but they're all showing upside besides the 5-year chart for the Dow Jones. So they're showing upside. I'm expecting that since the 1-month, 3-month, and 6-month is showing downside, I'm expecting us to go to the downside for the short term in terms of now till inflation numbers come up. And then after the inflation numbers, if they are looking favorably, so inflation is, it comes in better than expected, so inflation is getting reduced, then we'll start going to upside following the long-term charts. Now, what I'm showing, what I mean by in terms of like showing downside, here's a 3-month chart, and the MACD line is in the bearish movement. This indicates if it's a bearish or bullish movement. Right now, we're in the bearish movement, indicating downside, and all of them, 1-month, 3-month, 6-month, all for the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq are showing downside. But for the 1-year, for all of them showing upside, and then the 5-year for the S&P and Nasdaq showing upside, except for the Dow Jones. But I just think it's a lagging indicator a little bit, somewhat, in this situation. Now, in terms of the movement, for the most part, because we have nothing really for Monday, it could pretty much consolidate, slight dip, slight upside kind of stuff. Tuesday, more at the end of trading day, I'm expecting to potentially go down in anticipation for the numbers. But for the breakdown, we're at 38,799 points for Dow Jones, and if we were to go to the upside, we're looking at pretty much 39,000 points. When I looked at the 3-month and 1-month charts, 39,050 points, give or take, somewhere around there. And then to the downside, we're looking at both the 1-month, 3-month. It looks like about 38,500, give or take. The way I'm looking at this, for the most part, it's a little bit of horizontal resistance levels, plus with the moving averages, and you can see the levels, moving averages right here coinciding, and then as well for the 1-month chart coinciding, 39,050 points. 39,500 points, give or take. Now, if you think of the upper limits, again, upward trend resistance line, 4 touch points right here, will be met, or you want to be aware what they will be when we meet them. It's give or take, depending on when we meet them, the higher the high will be, the longer we take. About 40,150 points, give or take. And then to the downside, if this support level holds true, about 38,097 points, give or take. But most likely, yeah, around there, give or take. But again, it has to be assessed pretty much day by day for the most part. Now, for the S&P 500, we have an upward trend resistance line dating back to 2010. We have a lot of room to go to the upside. Just to visually show quickly for the new viewers, dating back since 2010, upward trend resistance line, and we have a lot more room to go for there. But let's focus on the short term for the most part. Again, more pointing to the downside for 1-month, 3-month, and 6-month chart. So because of that, I expect us to potentially go down to we're right now at 534 points, expecting us to go down to potentially 531 points, give or take. And then by Tuesday, maybe go down to $530, $529. The reason why is, first, we have horizontal resistance level that could act as support at the 531 for the Monday, and then for the Tuesday by towards the end of trading day. So we could kind of go up on the Monday and then ultimately close at 531, and then on Tuesday ultimately go up as well, but at the end of the trading day go down. It depends based off the Monday. So Tuesday is going to be a little bit more difficult to call out. So the 529, 530 is not specific for Tuesday end of trading day unless the Monday follows through, right? And if we see crazy dips, I honestly think 530, 529 will hold us for sure, both days combined, because those numbers for the most part, the market doesn't seem to act too negatively based off those numbers as of recent. So because of that, I don't think we'll see crazy dips, but we'll see, unless inflation number comes in higher than expected, like a way more than expected fully, then we could obviously dip lower, but we'll see. Now, in terms of the if you think the markets will go to the upside, first resistance level is about $535, give or take, but then this previous all-time high about 536, 537, around that ballpark. Once we pass that, I don't think we're going to pass those levels that crazy, but based off Fibonacci numbers, we're at 539, 540 potentially to meet resistance around those levels, because we are at all-time highs, in the ballpark of all-time highs. You can see right about here, dating back since 2010 and literally all-time highs. So it's quite difficult to see fully unless you use Fibonacci scale and so on and so forth. Now for QQQ, again, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months chart showing downside, and the thing is, though, we're approaching upward trend resistance line dating back to 2010. So this dates back since 2010. You can see we got knocked down as of, March 2024, and we're approaching it again. Will we pass it? We'll see. Who knows? If you think by Monday or Tuesday we'll be hitting it, or what the level is, so you're aware of it, it's about $468, $469, and then because my lines are not perfect and clean numbers, so on and so forth, it might be about $470. Right now we're at $462.96, and it depends on when we hit it. The longer we take to hit it, the higher the high will be. But for the most part, I think we'll probably end up hitting lower anyway. And then, by the way, in terms of resistance levels, the first level we have to pass about $466 anyway, the previous all-time high, which was a couple of days ago anyway. And then the within the week kind of stuff, and then $464, $465. So we have quite a bit, not quite a bit of resistance, but decent resistance to the upside anyway. In terms of support level, first level we're looking at for the most part about 461, 460, and then I think ultimately, to be honest, just in my opinion, I think we're going to end up hitting around this level where it's the moving averages plus the upward trend resistance line dating back since November of 2023, I believe it was. Let me just zoom out right about here. So let me go to 6 month chart. So about November 2023, yeah, it kind of held true where we had resistance, support, resistance, resistance as well again, and then a little bit of resistance and breakout. So I think this moving average colliding with the upward trend support / resistance level will hold us. So probably by Tuesday, like for example, we'll probably trickle down to 460 on Monday, give or take, because there's nothing really going on. So it's like consolidate / drop a little bit, maybe towards the end of the day. I'm not sure 100%. In case I didn't say, I'm not a professional, so please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. But then this moving average will hold us regardless if Monday we drop a lot or Tuesday we get dropped by the end of trading day anticipation for the Wednesday inflation numbers. But not a guarantee it will hold us, but I think it will. It's about $455.84. Now, if we drop to that level on Monday, and then by Tuesday, I'm expecting by end trading day dropping, then we could hit this moving average about 450 and some change, because it kind of somewhat hits this resistance levels right about here and support level right about here with the moving average. So $450, give or take. But that would lead to drop days and significant drop days overall, in my opinion. And then I don't expect us to see crazy drop days because the volatility index is quite low. Every time I expect it to spike up, it just doesn't seem to fully spike up. So we'll see. But otherwise, that's basically it for today's video. If you did find it helpful and beneficial, consider dropping a like. It does help the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you do want to be notified when I do upload my latest video, consider following me on X and YouTube. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.